Like I said, let's go. Oh, this time I'm not going to make that mistake. Alrighty, let's go. I think it's working. Chances are good it's probably working. I'd wager it's working. If the audio is fine in the game, that's perfect. But yeah, love this game. It got updated like 2 days ago. Anniversary update. It had Bandit in it. I called it all along. I like Bandit a lot. I played him a lot in 1. I'm sure I'll play him a lot in 2. He's very fun in 2. But I don't know if it's just me, but I find him to be mercenary too, personally. Like if mercenary were a ranged character, he would be Bandit. You'll see what I mean once you actually watch me play him some. But I've enjoyed him very much so far. I'm gonna see if I can try and get a successful run to Mithrix on stream. Not that that'll be very successful probably, but it's worth a shot. He largely has stuff similar to his kit in 1. No dynamite, but he's got something else for crowd control. But honestly, he's still quite good, as you can tell. Bandit is very much reliant on combos. He has 4 main abilities which all interact with each other, kinda sorta. Except Shotgun. The Shotgun just is its own damage dealer. Quite good though. But he deals critical hits from the back, always, so that's nice. He can turn invisible for a few seconds and gain some speed, and stun everything around him. He can do that, hits opponents at an arc, makes them bleed. Actually, it's a new status effect called Hemorrhage, which I guess is, from what I found, it's a weaker version of bleed. Probably a good idea not to have it be bleed, because then it would just stack with regular bleed and it'd be kind of overpowered. And yes, I have spent a lot of time on Distant Roost, thank you for noticing. Probably a bit too much time. We can do a quick run or two or a few. Hopefully I won't get interrupted too many times. It's currently storming where I live, but it's no worse than a thunderstorm at the moment. I guess you could say that there's a risk of rain. Sorry, I'll go ahead and leave now. But yeah, I don't like all this hustle and bustle when I am streaming. It does not do my mind well at all. But give it a couple of hours and it should be over with. I'm also going to bed early tonight. And we go to the teleporter with nothing much in tow because we've just been messing around this whole time. We'll take this healing drone, because healing drones are good. Drones got better in this update. I haven't noticed a whole lot, but I noticed my drones haven't been dying constantly. That's because they scale properly with difficulty now. Let's go ahead and open a chest. And this should be all we need for the boss, honestly. Oh, it's the Vagrant. Bandit's not super great against this guy, but Bandit is great against literally everybody, though. So I guess you can't complain too much. You can also one-shot Wisps pretty easily. And using that Lights Out ability will reset all of your cooldowns, so you can just go around. Darn it, I thought I could kill him before he did that. That's the hard part about Vagrant, just killing him before anything happens. Wasn't the best run, but not bad. One concurrent viewer. We are raking in the views tonight. No, it's okay. Two shots to kill a beetle. And the shotgun is really fun to use. The damage fall off isn't too bad, and you're going to be up close and personal as Bandit anyway, and you can fire it pretty much as fast as you can click. Like, watch this. I just rapid fire clicked and fired at the maximum speed. However, that means that Bandit won't benefit as much from attack bonuses, except for his lights out move. That's the only thing that'll benefit, though. Not great, but not terrible either. Good to get these for some extra cooldown juice. And if you're playing Bandits, Lesser Wisps are like your Capri Sun packets. You just pop them in, reset all. They usually go down in one hit if you're close enough, especially if you have lights out. And yeah, you will have it made quite useful. Even stone golems go down with like no trouble if you're playing Bandit, which is really nice. Oh, and since you're going to be going around and getting crits all the time, items that have effects on crit will synergize really well. Like Harvester's Scythe, normally to get like guaranteed heal on attack, you would have to have like 10 sunglasses. With Bandit and his guaranteed crits, you can just get crits just by going behind him. But yeah, Lesser Wisps are like the Capri Suns of Bandit runs. They usually go down one hit, you can pop the lights out on them for instant cooldown, recovery. They're quite nice. Is this where the teleporter is located? I have absolutely no idea. But we're gonna find out. Deals pretty good damage too. 600% if I recall correctly. Yep. I liked Mercenary a lot, so I guess it makes sense that I would love Bandit. Okay, the teleporter is up here. My gut instinct did not betray me. Another one. Another one. Shouldn't be much of a problem. When you don't get the hit on lights out, that's not very satisfying. And yes, you can go behind stuff that it seems like you shouldn't be able to, like the Vagrant. The Vagrant actually does face a certain direction. That was a very stupid thing to do, but... Ah! I gotta take care of some of these other little guys first. Fortunately, Bandit's crowd control game is about as good as it gets, if you know what you're doing. Which I do. You're gonna want to stay behind for this. Don't you just hate it when you get to a place where you think you'll be safe and then you're not? There we go. Vagrant down. Not that it matters much that we waited so long. Ooh, another scythe. So as long as we're pumping out damage from behind, we'll be good. The only problem with Lesser Wisps is, again, they're very deadly. You gotta be very careful. Wait, did that Wisp drop a... It did drop a, whatchamacallit down there. Something that's really nice about Bandit is he can kind of double jump, especially if you chain it together right. I wonder, if you had enough Wisps, and you could chain enough smoke bombs together, using lights out to reset your cooldown, could you theoretically, like, levitate or fly? Well, not fly, just, like, go up forever. Probably. Probably not as insane mobility-wise as Mercenary, especially if there are no enemies around, but he definitely feels a lot like Mercenary does because of the similar emphasis on combos. Now I can test my theory. Yeah, theoretically I guess you could. We'll give it a shot once we see some more, whatchamacallums. enemies to test it on. Particularly, I want to try it on some lesser wisps, because again, they're the Capri Suns in the run. I should be going a bit faster, but 2 large chests is just too good to resist. Let's see if we can get some more enemies around here. The problem with most runs in time is often just that you don't... Ooh, a legendary. I got an alien head. Oh wow, that's even better. Not that Bandit will have much need for cooldown reduction in the first place, because if you're playing your cards right, you should have virtually no cooldown. I guess that's not totally true. Now here I can test my theory. Yeah, basically that. I'm not going to bother trying to farm for that other large chest, because getting a legendary this early is already quite good. Especially for something like Alien Head, that is really good. It'll be nice to have that extra cooldown reduction with no enemies around, because now I can just zoom around in 2 seconds and I can experiment. Ah, bummer. Didn't mean to do that. Let's try again. But yeah, as long as I get kills, I can do that indefinitely. That's really nice. But yeah, we need to stop fooling around and getting to the teleporter. Stop clowning around. But it is very fun, and this game is all about having fun. Let's go, said somebody. Okay, we need to take care of these wisps first. And there we go. Note to self, don't do that. I'm gonna die now. Yeah, I just messed up that one because I was just messing around too much. But yeah, theoretically you could maintain your upward force infinitely if you have enough enemies to kill, which I find very amusing. I'm sure somebody out there has... Well then, that's a close spawn. Also, Bandit is one of the survivors that can do that. Has no gameplay benefit. And I hate that it's not quite enough to kill beetles, but I guess it's fair. If you could one-shot stuff like beetles and lemurians with this, that would be insane. Milky Chrysalis. But yeah, there you have it. You can actually sustain yourself in the air with that. That's really poggers, you could say. And also very cool. Let's see now. Milky Chrysalis, not the best item, not the worst. At least it'll give us some easy navigation. Oh wow. I think Bandit has this for about 15 seconds. Yeah. Oh wow, can we sustain this forever? I guess theoretically we could sustain this gliding state indefinitely if we had enough. No, not quite. If we had enough cooldown reduction, we could. The teleporter is down there, and the good thing about Bandit is that he does not require a whole lot of items to be good. You could just play Bandit with no items and still be good. Beetle Queen, boy I love you. Beetle Queen, my beloved. That was sarcasm. Beetle Queen's not terrible, though. Definitely one of the easier bosses if you play your cards right. And if you're careful... because she got nerfed. Uh-oh. Yeah, gotta watch out for stuff like that. Yo, Saturday Night Gaming. You bet it's Saturday Night Gaming. It's Saturday night. I have no date. a 2-liter bottle of Shasta, and an all-rush mixtape. Let's rock. I like that account, the one that just tweets that every Saturday night. If you're not careful with the golems, you can actually kill them in like all of your shots. If you just unload your full clip, you'll kill them. But it's better to finish them off instead of killing them all the way, like this. Well, maybe you should land more shots than I did, but... Ooh, a large chest again, close to the spawn. You could go around and do that, but that'd be kind of wasting time. It's best to just gather the enemies. But you can do fun stuff like that. Yeah, you're pretty much a killing machine. But do I prefer Bandit or Mercenary? I don't know, it's kind of unfair to rank them. I like them both. Ooh, that's a good one. But yeah, we don't need to worry so much about items. I was just fiddling around. Wonder. Aha, we made it across. That's amazing. Bandit is just so much fun to use. Like I said, he's exactly like Mercenary, but if he were ranged. Well, not exactly like him, obviously, but very much like him if he were ranged. And Mercenary is very fun, too. I don't play him as often as I should, but he is quite fun. You know who I really want to play is Artificer. She is really fun. Huntress is fun, but she's kind of easy mode. Commando, ironically, the character you start with, is more hard mode. Oh no. Oh no. That was not an experience I wanted to have, but there we are. Hopefully the storm outside won't cause too many problems. I'll keep streaming unless the power goes out or something flies through my window. That beetle just went flying, and I was just looking at the screen for a second, so all I see is this, like, streak of fire going up randomly out of nowhere. That's an elite beetle for ya. They actually added in quite a bit of new stuff in the updates, which is nice. What do we have? Hooks of Heresy? Sure. Ooh, that sounds fun. I mean, I kind of feel like Bandit's secondary is a little bit weak. We could try this. And besides, I need to get the log entry anyway. Heh, me playing Risk of Rain 2 in a nutshell is like, yummy log entries. I imagine the teleporter will be somewhere not here. I'm gonna get that large chest. No! There we are. But yeah, Hooks of Heresy seems really fun. Charge up a ball of blades, and after a delay, explode and root enemies. Oh, wow. Wonder if the charge affects damage or if it's also... You do lose a bit of that crowd control ability. But it is nice just to be able to do stuff like that. Paul's Goat Hoof. Oh yeah, baby. Best item in the game. Not the best, but still very good. Actually, it is probably one of the best. As to why it's called Paul's Goat Hoof, that's an inside joke with the dev team. One of the devs goes by the handle Paul the Goat, and so Paul's Goat Hoof naturally follows. There's some other things like that. Like there's an item in the game called Dio's Best Friend. It's a plush bear thing. It's a reference to the lead developer's cat named Dio. And no, it's not a JoJo reference, probably. No, only about half of one. I'm messing around too much and wasting too much time. The teleporter's over there. Anyway, the item log for Dio's best friend is just a letter from the developer to his cat, which is really, I dare say, wholesome. Definitely a wholesome gaming moment. Honestly, I would just spend so much time reading the item logs if there were that many to read. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. And it gives me good incentive to go out and get all the items. Alright, it's tucked all the way back here. Can we make it? Golem's coming my way. Watch this. Dang. Got him good! You got me good! Gunner drone, be my, something. Gonna have to figure out how to get up here again. Shouldn't be something more... shouldn't be as bad as people think it is. Nothing worse than some hardcore rock parkour. Let's get those guys. I haven't done a bit of damage on the Vagrant yet, of course. Let's see if we can aim that right. Ay, caramba, how am I still alive? Honestly, I think I kind of prefer the Bandit's regular secondary, but this isn't terrible. Get him! Whew, got him. Genesis Loop. Very good item indeed. Very fun. It's definitely saved my hide a few times. It does proc the band, though, this ability. So that will be handy if I ever need to ghost ride the band, I guess. But yeah, I think I played Bandit a lot in Risk of Rain 1. He is very fun. I didn't unlock a lot of them in 1. Meanwhile, I've unlocked almost everyone in 2. I have unlocked just everyone. Can't wait to see what the DLC is going to add. They said that there are plans to add DLC in the future, and for Risk of Rain 2, I would buy that. Here we are on the infamous wetland aspect, where it's very hard to find the teleporter. But once you get good, you gotta get good. It's like a lot of things in life. There's so many places on this map the teleporter could be, so you just spend all your time looking for it. Another Capri Sun. But yeah, the drones definitely received a noticeable upgrade. And it applies to turrets too. Feels so good to land that shot. Whoa, that guy just died in one hit. That's hilarious. Oh, you hear that? That's the sound of Brass Contraption. Brass Contraption, my beloved. One of my favorite enemies. In case you couldn't tell. Why do I like it so much? I don't know. Just like its design and attack pattern. A big old bell type thing that just hurls spike balls at you. Spiked balls, rather. I guess they could be called spike balls if you want. Then it'd just be ball of spikes. Balls of spikes. Lepton Daisy. Not terrible, not impressive. But definitely saved my hide a few times. Ooh, Stone Titan. This guy is really fun to fight with this ability, because you can just... Ah! I forgot about the laser. It doesn't affect me so much now that I can turn invisible and reduce the problematic aspect of it. I mean, it's not perfect, but... Interesting. Another Lepton Daisy. Wow. They being real generous to me here, crew. That was mad funny, bro. Watch this. Strike! Someone put a bowling sound effect over that. And it bounces around. Pretty fun. I guess you just gotta time it right. Does more charge mean more damage, or does it just mean farther distance? Hopefully it just means distance, because sometimes it flies too far to really affect anything, like that. Dang. Yeah, if you can time it right, it can do some devastating damage. Like this. That's quite good, actually. I regret what I said earlier. Take that back. Alright. Boop. I love that. So fun. Boom. Alright, Rally Point Delta. And we have time on the clock. Let's see if we can go and get that free use, because I have a free slot. Looks like we might not get it if we're not quick enough, so we'll have to be quick, gamers. We spawned on the opposite side of where it usually is. Ah, the Simp in its natural habitat. It's not in there, so it'll be where the teleporter is, roughly. Double kill. That is a Pog moment right there. There it is. Can we get it? Can we get it? I don't know, guys. We made it. Oh, that's a lot of wisps. Watch this. This. Whoa, I just realized I could, like, activate cooldown and fire, like, all of those. Bison become just like golems as far as this is concerned. Watch this. That is Pog. You just use your laser disc. Ah, it's like a freeze effect. Okay, if we fool around too much longer, we're gonna die. So let's not do that, okay? This is gonna be interesting. Oh, magma worms. Oh no. That is a magma worm moment right there. Not the boss I would have preferred. And watch this. Insane damage. But we also died. Oh well. Such is the life. But yeah, that was fun. I'm not quitting, I just want to see what the log for Hooks of Heresy says. That is a fun item. Her arms were warped into terrible blades, so she may no longer find joy in study or tooling. The Evisceration of Kurskan the Hectic, Volume 4. All of these items kind of tell a consecutive story of sorts. Let's see. Some of them are still missing. But the point of the story is basically just that this mysterious female godlike figure or something got, like, executed, and her body parts were strewn across the moon. And apparently she did something really bad to deserve the title of the heretic. The lore in this game is what really gets me enticed as well. It's not super deep, but it is quite intriguing to think about. You probably already know what the lore is. It's about... Never mind, I'm focusing on the game. I probably just end up rambling or babbling incoherently if I tried to talk and game at the same time. You gotta keep the hustle going, know what I'm saying? Oh, I forgot I don't have that ability anymore. Watch this. Nice one. But I guess I could explain the lore coherently enough. So basically, there was this guy named Providence, and he had the moon, a planet all to himself. A planet called Petrichor V by most people. Or is it Petrichor 5? Probably Petrichor 5. It's probably a Roman numeral, not a letter. Anyway, so he's got this planet. He's basically a god. So he takes in all these random species and basically creates his own zoo on the planet where he preserves life. And he tries to keep them contained like they're in cages. He's called the Bulwark of the Weak and the Protector and stuff like that. Although his brother Mithric sees his protectiveness as more of an obsessive collectiveness, kind of being just like he's collecting playthings. And Mithric has more practical things in mind, like traveling to other moons and planets. And so he builds gateways on the moon and to the moon. But Providence wasn't having any of that. And it eventually ends in a conflict between them. And then one of the teleporters gets on one of the UES ships. Gets shipped off accidentally or something. Providence gets mad, kills a bunch of dudes, the monsters get through. Or the creatures get through. And then Risk of Rain 1 happens. Because the UES Contact Light is a spaceship that crashed and dropped all the items everywhere. That's why there are a bunch of chests, because they're cargo from the Contact Light. They never find any survivors from the Contact Light. I guess except for the ones you play as. They kind of count as survivors from that. Some of them are survivors from that, I guess. Anyway, in 2, they go to investigate what happens to the Contact Light again, and they encounter Mithrix, because of course Providence is already gone. That's just a loose handle of the lore. It's not like I have any solid grasp on it. I'm not the lore master. Ooh, we got razor wire somewhere along the line. That is nice enough. But yeah, thanks for the support, Saturday Night Gamers. So how's your night going? Mine is just, you know, the usual. Well, not the usual, it's anything but it's just going. I like the Bandit's design because he's always had this blue hat that he wears. I don't understand why it's practical to have like a big blue hat, a big teal, like cyan, turquoise, more of a turquoise really. But it's stylistic. I guess it's the same reason Agent Red wears like bright red. Come to think of it, their outfits look awfully similar. They both got the hat and the cape going on. It's kind of funny how much I've plagiarized off the Bandit. And it's not like I hadn't heard of Risk of Rain either back then. This was back before the sequel had come out, obviously, 2016 and stuff when I was designing the game. So, when I came up with Agent Red, rather. Risk of Rain 1 had already come out in like 2013. And Bandit was out then. And I'd played it before then. That's where I got the idea of making LRS a roguelike initially. So I probably subconsciously stole design cues from the Bandit. To be honest, I've always kind of wrestled with like the practicality of Red's outfit. Like, he's a member of this rebel organization. Shouldn't there be some kind of uniform type thing? Or at least some kind of practical clothing instead of this big flowing vest cape thing and a hat? But I guess for him it doesn't really matter much. My name's pretty good. My dog is scared of thunder. Yeah, I remember you telling me some of this. Oh yeah, I did tell you some of that. I told you a lot of it, probably. But yeah, it's basically just as I described. Ooh, Googles. Again, Googles aren't as vital on him because he could crit without them, but it's nice to just have guaranteed crits on any survivor. Another Milky Chrysalis, my favorite. You can get a good one over here. Without a doubt, ukulele, usually. I still have some items I have yet to get, but as far as items go, I'm pretty well set. I mean, like, items to unlock. I haven't gotten through all the game yet. I literally just got to the final area with Bandit today. But yeah, I understand that your dog is afraid of thunderstorms. I mean, most dogs are. So I'm glad that you're petting her. Very glad. It does my heart good. Ha! You thought you could spit acid at me, you wretched fool? It's like that one clip from Garfield, the Garfield show, where John is just gaming. And he's all like, you think you could defeat me, you wretched fool? If you've watched the Garfield show, you'll know what I'm talking about. Ooh, tri-tip. But yeah, Queen Beetle, or Beetle Queen, isn't really a hard boss. A lot of people think she's easy. But the problem is, if you're not careful, she can be really hard. Like her acid attack shoots like a spray of 5 bits of acid, and it's like a shotgun effect. If you're too close and you're like up against the wall, they will all hit you. You'll get hit by the initial blasts and the... Ooh, got an achievement. A pool of acid. Wonder what his alternate abilities are. All the characters have alt abilities. I was gonna play Kingdom Hearts today, but I didn't get around to it because I've been working on a project. And it's gonna be out in about 4 days or so. I think you will like it. It's related to my Stick Ranger mod, and I've been kind of keeping it under wraps, because it's pretty special. Rally Point Delta. I love this map. One of my favorite maps in the game, has some of my favorite music. How could you go wrong with old Rally Point Delta? This music makes me nostalgic. It reminds me of when, like, Risk of Rain 2, the demo, first came out, and I played that. I've been a pretty big Risk of Rain fan since the beginning. Let's see if I can get something better than Milky Chrysalis. Actually, you know, Milky Chrysalis isn't that bad for a utility item. If I'm in the mood, I might keep it. Probably not, though. Accumulator is just too... Honestly, I don't get all the hype over Preon Accumulator, or Preon Accumulator as they say in the industry. It's a good item, but the cooldown is too absurdly high to be practical. Hey, is that? It is! It's the gold altar. Maybe we can get the gold boy. I don't know, though. I spend a lot of time, although it's about the average time. It's not too bad. Honestly, I think I should consider trying to get Gold Boy. Because if I did get Gold Boy, it would be a very valuable asset. So what do you say, Gold Boy Gang? I think I'm going Gold Boy Gang. And also, this Harvester Scythe is just too good with Bandit to even think of not using. But yeah, we're going Gold Boy Gang. We have to get only 766 monies? That's not too bad. Ha! How does it feel to get like that? Imps have always just been a bane to me. Feels so good to finally put them in their place. It will take a little bit to try and get to Gilded Coast, but I think it's worth it. Like I said, if you're Bandit, you don't really need good items to win. You just need to play competently. Wonder if they'll make any balance changes. Probably will make a few. Bandit's very good. He's definitely not broken tier, because you still have to have at least 3.75 brain cells to play him, but definitely very good. Watch this. I can just go around here killing him, no prob. And the drone buff definitely helps. So close to Gold Boy Gang. You'll see what I mean by Gold Boy in a second. Now I'm just thinking of Bling Bling Boy from Johnny Test. I never watched that show, but I do remember it. I mean, who can't remember it? Alright, I think we almost have enough for Gold Boy Gang. Just 33 more and we'll be good. Now, we still have to beat the teleporter. It won't grant us immediate access. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate how hard the music's going right now? Pure bliss. I love this game's soundtrack. Well, if you love this soundtrack so much, then why don't you get married to it? I think I will. Ah, darn, I didn't get, like, an initial contact on that. That's okay, because this guy's going down. 3 golems might put a few... No, 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 no. As a wise man once said. Don't worry, though. So long as we're careful, we can kite around these guys like it's kite day. See? It's all about being cool, calm, collected, and not doing anything stupid. Watch this. Pretty much. I kind of screwed up that last bit, but ATG, my boy. ATG, my beloved. Count how many times I said my beloved. Here's a fun drinking game for you. Every time I say my beloved, take a shot of your favorite beverage. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. Heck, it could be seltzer water. That's probably what I'd drink. It's not a bad beverage. Definitely less sugary than sugar. Anyway, where is the gold portal? There it is, all the way up there. That is where we were going to want to go. Can we get up there? Let's see if we can do the old gamer trick. Not quite. Alright. Now this place right here is where we're gonna go to get Gold Boy Gang. Gold Boy Gang. Gold Boy Gang. Johnny Test is the Fortnite of cartoons. I guess I kind of see what you're saying. Mainstream, popular in the mainstream, kind of cringe. Here we are, the Gilded Coast. It's kind of a secret level, not really. Anyway. Oof. Did that guy just clip through the ground? Yep, he clipped through the ground. Oh no, he didn't. There's a secret thing underneath. I didn't even know that. This game continues to fill me with surprises. Metroid surprises. I had a dream once that there was a game coming out called Metroid Surprises. Alright. So if you ain't been to Gilded Coast before, here's the rundown. These Haycorn beacon... No, not Haycorn. I thought they were called Haycorn. They must have been renamed. Or maybe it's just a Mandela effect type thing. Halcyon? Halcyon? I can't pronounce it. It's probably a mineral reference. And as much of a Steven Universe fan I am, I don't get mineral references. Spawn this guy. Red! He's basically just a Stone Titan on steroids. Don't need to worry about him. But what you do need to do is start collecting money so that you can farm these guys and get the beacons up. You have to get the beacons up and running in order to damage him. It's one of those types of bosses. Because otherwise he'll take no damage. Still taking no damage. But yeah, you get a special reward whenever you manage to defeat this guy, and if you'll notice, the time is not going, so there's no reason not to. Other than it perhaps being a bit of an investment. Okay, now he is damageable. Let's get him, gamers! Alright, now this has a limited chance to kill him. Also, his head is kind of shaped like Mithrix, in case you haven't noticed. The effect is rather limited, so you'll have to deal as much damage to him as you can. So close. But it could all come crashing down in this very moment if you're not careful. Luckily, we were able to beat him. And he drops something special for us. How is this word pronounced? Hold on a minute. Give me a second.
Halcyon.
Halcyon, okay. Halcyon. A tropical... And what exactly a halcyon is a tropical Asian and African kingfisher with brightly colored plumage. Also a mythical bird said by ancient writers to breed in a nest floating above the sea, or a nest floating at sea at the winter solstice, charming the wind and waves into calm. I guess that kind of makes sense. And it can be used as an adjective, denoting a period of time in the past which was idyllically happy and peaceful. That makes sense. So yeah, so now we've got this halcyon seed. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing it now that I've heard the pronunciation. And this item has pretty cool effects that you will be able to see shortly. If you were paying any attention, you'll be able to see it sooner. So here we are in the Abyssal Depths. Let's go out into the open. This level has a guaranteed legendary chest in it. All the stage 4s have guaranteed legendaries in them. It's just different circumstances. I would argue that Abyssal Depths is probably the easiest. Well, it's universally agreed that it's the easiest to get if you can farm money. because all you have to do is just find the legendary chest in a place, and it's literally just right there. No hassle, no fuss. For Sundered Grove, the chest can be in one of 5 locations that you're led to by a series of red glowing mushrooms. And on Siren's Call, you have to defeat a boss called the Alloy Worship Unit before you can get the legendary chest. And you do that by breaking 5 vulture nests and summoning it. The AWU is another little neat piece of Risk of Rain lore. As far as bosses go, it's mainly a souped-up version of the Soulless Control units. It pretty much is a Soulless Control unit, except it just has extra plumage on it. Elder Lemurians? Not a problem. Alright, so it costs like 2,000 something to get the legendary. I'll go check on it in a little bit. Nothing too bad. This is also the level where the fabled hermit crabs appear. So if you're into hermit crabs, this will be the level for you. So yeah, ultimately this level usually comes down to just farming money until you can afford the legendary and then hightailing it to the teleporter. For me it does. I don't want to waste time on trivial things such as smaller items. Not that items are trivial by any means. Okay, here's our first hermit crab. An overloading one too. Now if you'll notice, hermit crabs got nerfed. They only fire 1 shot instead of 3. It deals the same damage, but as far as tracking down the crabs go, it's supposed to make them easier, so it's not as visually confusing to tell how many crabs there are in a given location. It's just a little change, but you know, it's the little things like that that make life worth living. You know, it's just about the little bits. You hungry? Come on down. And in case you're wondering, invisibility does not make this totally invisible. That's one thing that has been tweaked. If you're visible, enemies will update their targeting position on you regularly. But if you were invisible, it's only every few seconds. Whereas before, it'd just make it so they didn't target you entirely. I'm assuming this change was made because Bandit would be too broken if that were still the case. If you had, like, infinite cooldown, enemies would just never target you if you stood still. And for such little investment that would require... Okay, we need 1,000 more money. Dollars. I guess the currency in this game is gold. Risk of Rain do be running the gold standard, though. Oh, that's a glacial hermit crab. That is nasty. That could have been bad. Glacial enemies are the worst. They completely immobilize you. Well, not completely, but they can be very devastating if you're not careful. But blazing ones are just as bad. Actually, all the elites are just as bad. They're all insanely difficult to deal with for the most part, and they can be equally sinister. Okay, we're pretty much got it. Just gotta get maybe a bit more. Okay, we can get the legendary now. Now, hopefully this will be a good one. Let's see what we get. Rejuvenation Rack. Not bad. Combos well with a scythe. And it gives us these cool antlers. Can't complain about Rejuve Rack. And we'll get an ATG while we're at it, because ATG is ballin'. Now watch this. Pretty good healing, if I do say so myself. All those critical hits with the scythe just make it so much better. We should still try and stack crits, if we can. Ah, Bundle of Fireworks. Underappreciated, yet really clutch. Bundle of Fireworks is really situational. It's one of those clutch items that can be really useful in certain situations. We get a lunar portal with this one, which will come in handy. Alright, gamers. Overload. Oh no. This is a cringe moment! I'm dead. But yeah, you can probably tell Overloading Greater Wisps are not my best opponents. Greater Wisps they hit fairly hard to begin with. And if they're overloading, if you get hit by one, you're screwed. So this is a rifle blast. Same thing, but this is more damage per shot. I don't know which one is better. We'll try the rifle and see how it goes. But yeah, Overloading Greater Wisps. Honestly, I think might prefer the shotgun better, actually. The rifle provides better generalist damage, but just being able to go back behind something and blast it for that insane crit rate is just a gift. Although that extra rifle range, I assume it has less damage fall off, meaning we can pull off some pretty quality snipes with it. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to kill these Lemurians from here if it weren't for the rifle. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go to Roost early. Please don't be another Milky Chrysalis. Okay, good. Not another Milky Chrysalis. But something equally useless. Well, it's not useless, it's just... Oh no. Got your nose! Look out, he's got her nose! I love the sound design of these weapons. Risk of Rain has always been great with sound design. You know, if you're good with sound design, and you're looking for a job, Risk of Rain 2's staff, the Hopoo Game staff, is hiring audio engineers. So maybe if you meet their qualifications, you could work there. It would be fun to work at Hopoo Games, I think. Be able to work on, like, Risk of Rain and stuff. And other games too like that, although they're stationed in Seattle, Washington. And while you can now work from home, it would be hard to transition. They would encourage you to transition to working there, and they would probably prioritize someone who's not working, or who doesn't mind going to Seattle over someone who does. Who knows, I might end up in Seattle, Washington someday. I get around a lot. You never know where I'm going to end up next. My life is like a box of chocolates. You never know where you're going to end up next. I mean, someone's probably moved more than I have, but I've lived in at least 3 different states since I was born. And you can probably tell this, but I haven't been around for like 8,500 years. But yeah, working at Hopoo would be pretty rad, but you do have to have some experience under your belt. Of course, they're looking for people who have good experience and qualifications, which of course is the thing to do if you're hiring. And if you're smart, like Hopoo, let's recycle this bad boy into something better. Like Predatory Instincts. Not bad. Anyway, we're gonna die before we even get through the teleporter. Just watch this. Honestly, I prefer the shotgun. Shotgun gives you more room for error, and having damage fall off isn't quite my playstyle for Bandit. But yeah, if I had the experience under my belt, I might consider working for Hopu. It would be fun. Maybe. There are a lot of game studios that might be fun to work at. And here comes our test, Big Lemur Man. That'll hold him all white, I say, as I blast him full of rifle bullets. Basically Elmer Fudd if he ever shot Bugs Bunny. Although, I have a feeling that he probably wouldn't. I think that Elmer Fudd and Bugs kind of had that dynamic going where they're perpetually chasing each other, but neither one of them is really wanting to see the other seriously harmed. Besides, what's Elmer Fudd gonna do with Bugs once he finally does manage to get him, if he does? I mean, Elmer Fudd is a vegetarian, so it's not like he's gonna eat him. And yes, that fact is true. If you go back and watch Looney Tunes episodes, there's one episode where Elmer Fudd says that he's not gonna eat him because he's a vegetarian. He's a hunter who is vegetarian. He just hunts for sport, I guess. For the thrill of the hunt. Which I can understand. It's interesting to think back to, like, times when hunting was considered, like, a really classy sport. In some places it still is, I'm sure. I don't have the heart to hunt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely eat my hamburgers, and I also die and glitch out in this game. Don't get me wrong. I eat my hamburgers and everything, but I wouldn't want to be the one actually, like, providing the burgers, if you get what I'm saying. And I definitely couldn't have... I might try eating fried rat, but I could definitely not prepare it. As you know, I like rodents quite a bit. I don't think I could stand having to handle a dead rat. I'm sure they eat fried rat in some places in the world. I read in the book once that fried rat was considered a delicacy in France. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't be surprised. Wonder how they responded to Ratatouille. They probably thought it was pretty cool. Ratatouille is a good movie. One of my favorites. Of the Pixar bunch, especially. Yeah, shotgun just handles better for me. Lemurian just, like, photobombed my lights out attempt. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm a Risk of Rain boomer. I started playing Risk of Rain around, like, maybe late 2014, early 2015. Early 2015 is when I started having concepts for LRS and when I was in my roguelike phase. And when I first picked up Risk of Rain 2. Or, not Risk of Rain 2. I would have to have been a time traveler. I think I checked when I first started playing on Steam, and it was sometime 2015. So I am a bit of a Risk of Rain boomer. I remember how Bandit was. And he played pretty much like he does here. Except his knife ability was replaced with dynamite. I guess they changed it because they thought that the knife would fit better with his hit-and-run playstyle. Or his ambush playstyle, rather. Get right up in him where it hurts. Teleport is really good for Bandit, because other than teleport, he doesn't have a lot of the evasive capabilities that other survivors have. Not teleports, like Smoke Bomb. Smoke Bomb is his, like, utility for going, for, like, movement. Wow, that's satisfying to do. Just completely murder them all in one hit. Some billionaires just still buy acres of land just to hunt animals in them. Wow. That's something else. I don't know how I feel about hunting for sport. I mean, on one hand, there's definitely an art to it. And there's definitely a thrill to be had in it, and I admire the people who have that hobby. But also, just killing something and not taking from it just seems kind of cruel. It feels wasteful. If you're going to go to the trouble of hunting down an animal and killing it, you should at least use something that you get from it. Other than bragging rights. I imagine they don't just let the animal sit and go to waste, even if they don't intend on eating it. They might sell it or something. And even if you are conscientious enough to not feel good about selling an animal to someone who might eat it, then chances are good you won't be hunting in the first place. Either that or you're squeamish like me. But yeah, I think it's a little cruel and unethical personally just to hunt just for sport, maybe. Ending something else's life just for your own enjoyment doesn't sound very ethical to me. But if you get something, but if you don't waste the animal, I suppose it's fine. I mean, if it weren't fine, I wouldn't be eating hamburgers. And if anything, it's more cruel for animals to be industrially slaughtered to get nothing from them. I mean, at least if you go hunting, the animals still have a fighting chance. And most hunters do have a law code. Not a law code, just like a... kind of like a moral code. Where you have to always give the animals a fighting chance. Or that's what I've always seen. I'm not a hunter. I wouldn't know. But generally speaking, from what I've heard, that's what most hunters generally do. Or maybe I've just watched too many movies and cartoons. I'm just a filthy zoomer who cannot click the book. Actually, I'll have you know I've clicked lots of books in my lifetime. I just really haven't gotten around to reading lately because I've been really, just hooked on doing other stuff. Probably not the best trait to have. Yeah, I'd only kill an animal for survival reasons. Definitely. I agree. You know, after all this, I might just end up going vegetarian by the end of the stream. That'd be funny. I wouldn't want to go vegan, though. I still think it's ethical to use animal products, like eggs and milk and stuff like that. I don't see really anything wrong with that. I mean, what are the animals going to use it for? Creating and feeding young? Really, I guess it's just to protest against the unethical farming practices a lot of big, farms do. It's really unfortunate how a lot of big farms do stuff. Now watch this. Haha, can't touch this. That laser from the Stone Titan is so obnoxious, I just completely decided not to do it. That is what Genesis Loop does, by the way. It makes it so when you get to low health, it just kills... It makes you go sicko mode and just kills everything. There's a Shrine of Blood right next to our thing. If I'm feeling risky, I might go for it after I hit the teleporter up. Only if I'm good enough, though. As of currently recording this stream, I think it's alright to... You know what, I shouldn't even state my views on like stuff like that here. I'm trying to keep this a relatively pleasant environment where everybody can just coexist and chill without, you know, everybody arguing. But I do like me some provoking discussion every now and then. Got it. Now I have some money to start the next round with. Don't spend it all in one place. Eating animal meat is good for protein, though. I think of humans eating animals is the same as a wolf eating a sheep, like just how nature be. I suppose you're right. A lot of the arguments that I see against that, though, are that, like, humans are at a stage now where we could theoretically be able to eat a nutrient-rich diet and get our nutrients from stuff other than meat. It's just that meat is where a lot of our nutrients come from. And that if you don't have to kill an animal for its meat, then why would you? That is a good question, though. I say as I contemplate my next order of like a bacon cheeseburger at Sonic next week. Seriously, I'm gonna get like a bacon cheeseburger. I could really go for one. I've been in a real Sonic mood lately. Well, found the teleporter. Well... But yeah, I agree with you on that, though. I think that it is similar to a wolf eating a sheep. Besides, as long as the animals are, like, as long as they've had a good quality of life and they've had a good chance past their prime, I don't see any problem with it. I mean, it's not like you're cutting the animal's life short or anything. It's a really hard question when you think about it sometimes. But anyway, Imp Overlord Fights. This is a little bit difficult. This is a bit more difficult made by the fact that we are down here and he is up there. Not anymore. Not anymore. That one clip from that iCarly YTP. Oh no. Watch this. Well, it didn't quite work out because he used teleporting right before we did that. Well, that ended quickly. We'll do it again, because that's the fun part, doing the same thing over and over again until you go insane. Well, sounds like the storm is over for now. Not completely. I have a tendency to really, try and think about questions when I'm tired, which is a bad thing, because I can't think straight when I'm tired, and I end up really getting upset about it. So, I've learned just to not do that. If only all problems in life were as easy to solve as just not doing that. As the saying goes, a guy walked into the doctor's office and said, "Doctor, it hurts when I do this," and then he proceeds to do something and the doctor says, "Well, don't do that." But unfortunately, not all of life's problems are that simple. A lot of people think that they are, but they're not. Especially with, food addiction and stuff. Imagine you go to, an Overeaters Anonymous or something, and you say something like, "Please help me with my food addiction." Well, just stop eating. That's not how it works exactly. I obviously don't have to worry about food addictions. If you know me in real life, you'll know that I am as thin as a rail, and I could use more food, personally. I guess just have a high metabolism, and I don't really have a very super active lifestyle. I mean, I walk a lot, but I don't, get out and jog or sprint or run or play any sports. I guess you could argue I need to do that more, and I would agree that I need to become more physically fit, just for health's sake. But overall, I haven't really had to have a high-intensity diet as far as food goes, but unfortunately, that has resulted in me not quite being up to par. But it means that if we should go to war, I won't have to be drafted. Like, I don't even meet the minimum weight requirements for being drafted or joining the military. It's probably not a good sign. Bet there are worse things to be. Get him! At least I am a pro Risk of Rain gamer. Oh no. I need to go ahead and kill these guys quickly. I guess that's just the way things go, though. Usually something has to die for something else to live. Unless you're a plant. If you're a plant, you can just chill and photosynthesize. Nothing wrong with that. I remember reading about a study they did where they discovered that plants actually scream in pain as they get damaged. Well, they don't scream, obviously, but they do produce responses inside physiological responses of stress. And I guess vibrations. I ought to look up that article. Plants are very complex to understand, and it would be foolish to make assumptions about them just based on our own understanding of how animals work. As far as plants feeling pain, I don't think they can feel pain the same way that we do. It doesn't cause them any form of misery. They can have physiological responses to stress and damage, but I don't think that it manifests as a sort of suffering. Although I wouldn't know for sure until I've asked a plant. Maybe in the future when we learn to talk to plants, we can ask them. But yeah, as far as actually eating a vegetarian diet goes, like I said, we humans can have all the nutrients they need to supplement themselves without eating meat, although doing so requires, in some cases it might require taking vitamin supplements, I guess. Well, not so much with vegetarian diets as vegan diets, I don't think. Because if you're vegan, then you're not drinking milk. And a lot of the milk, at least here in America, is fortified with vitamin D for nutritional purposes. The milk you buy in the store is. So if you're not drinking milk, you're getting less vitamin D and you might suffer from deficiencies. So you would probably have to take vitamin D supplements if you were vegan. Even if you did go out in the sun more, it would still take a lot. Oh no. Oh no, your kitchen is a mess. Lesser wisps are everywhere, and the overloading ones too. Fortunately, we have a solution. I don't know why I just did that announcer voice, though. I do, because I was just thinking that commercial. I always think of, like, those commercials, those seen on TV commercials. But yeah, we do have a lot of wisps, and that's a problem. Beetle Queen is down, so that should make that a bit easier to deal with. I think the current strat is just to jump around. Oh darn. Oh no. Yeah. If I ever get drafted, they can't make me go to battle because of my bad hearing. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Your hearing problems would definitely get in the way. I definitely couldn't fight in a combat position. I could probably lug around all the necessary equipment, but I'm just saying I don't know if I could handle it. If you handed me a gun and asked me to kill a man, I don't think I could do it. Even if I had to. Gore's Tome is also a developer reference, by the way. I like how this temporarily turned into a discussion on vegetarianism on a Risk of Rain livestream. I find that very funny. And then it became a discussion about, like, being drafted into the military. Maybe I just got too much stressing me lately. I'm not the healthiest person. Maybe I need to see a therapist. I think I just need to probably grow more emotionally, though. That's probably it. I've never really had to face challenges like I do now. I've lived a relatively quiet life. If you live a quiet life, consider yourself blessed. It isn't much fun living a not quiet one. Although it certainly never gets old, you can say that much. And granted, I have been thankful for a lot of the things that have happened to me. I said it before and I'll say it again, I would not want to be rich. I don't think rich people are bad, I just feel like I'd be so out of touch. And I would hate to lose that. Being in touch. Although conversely, since I'm not rich, I have a harder time understanding rich people. So it's kind of a thing. I do know several people who are rich, though, and they are quite generous, thankfully. I mean, if you had that many riches, you'd have to be, otherwise you'd feel guilty. I imagine a lot of them probably do feel guilty because they compulsively give a lot. I mean, their income is enough to sustain them and an army. Well, not that much, but it's definitely more than... It's definitely superfluous. Just for them alone. A Lepton Daisy printer. No thanks. My items are too good. Just dies in one hit. I love doing that. Maybe I should just follow Mr. Meaty's motto for eating meat. All God's creatures fresh off the grill. That show was something else. I never watched it growing up, and I'm kind of glad, because I would have turned out different, I think, if I had watched it. Although I wouldn't have been too bad off. I mean, I'm different enough as it is. I don't think it would be a problem. I feel bad for all the saps who did have to watch Mr. Meaty growing up. Well, I mean, like, watch Mr. Meaty while they were growing up, not watching the Mr. Meaty characters, or watching Mr. Meaty himself grow. Watching the show grow would have been entertaining. Or interesting, at least. Not entertaining, necessarily. I mean, watching the show itself, how it progressed through the seasons. If you'll remember, it only lasted for 2 seasons, because it faced a lot of backlash, understandably so. I'd probably just do office work, which is super boring. Yeah, office work. Well, boring is better than being dead and having PTSD. Although you might just get PTSD from how boring it is. Nah. You'd probably lapse into insanity if you got that bored. Is it possible to die from boredom? I do not know. So yeah, enough about me rambling about topics I shouldn't even be talking about this late. If anyone has something else they want to bring up, I am more than welcome. Another recycler. No! Okay, it's just that. That one always... when he does that, it always stresses me out. The Wandering Vagrant is not a hard boss, but it's a very stressful one. Any second you could be bombarded with, like, killer balls of energy. Or you could just be bombarded by an electric shock that covers the entire arena. Or you could just be hit by a stray energy ball. Definitely one of the more stressful bosses. But all in all, it's not very hard. The sound of a beetle attacking is not one that you usually get to hear very often, because you usually kill them before they get to you. Speaking of vegetarian stuff, I did try veggie burgers one time. Because, we just tried it for fun to see what it would taste like. Listen to me, talking about trying veggie burgers out of novelty. Well, there's nothing wrong with trying foods to see what they taste like. I love trying everything to see what it tastes like. It was alright. No replacement for the real burger. It tasted awfully familiar, probably because I'd had them before. If you ever want to try one, don't go in expecting a whole lot. I wonder what the Impossible Whopper tasted like. Will we ever find out? I don't even know if they're running that yet still. I know there were a bunch of memes about the Impossible Whopper around the time it was being advertised. About the excessive estrogen content, supposedly. And I die right as I say that. As far as that goes, I think that people were just memeing. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people say. Because plant hormones aren't the same thing as human hormones. If it were that effective, it would make stuff like hormone replacement therapy a lot cheaper. You just go down to your local Burger King and eat a Whopper, an Impossible Whopper, if you want to transition or something. But nope, that's not how it works. It was just people memeing. My mind tried to block out most of it because, of course, a lot of the art associated with it made me feel rather uncomfortable. There was that one Mr. Meaty episode that was basically just the Impossible Whopper joke. It's not a bad episode, it's a Season 1 episode, so it has that chaotic Mr. Meaty, that's a lot of wisps vibe to it. Yeah, Mr. Meaty had lots of wisps in it, obviously. No, but seriously. That's another question. Season 1 or Season 2? Personally, I like both. It's alright. Season 2 was the season they produced about with a lot of backlash. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not the biggest fan of Mr. Meaty. The show just isn't my style. I definitely have a lot of appreciation for how they just nailed the art style of Jim Henson on crack so well. And how they did what they could to make the show as chaotic and having that same spirit while still airing on Nickelodeon. I remember when I was watching Mr. Meaty episodes for the first time with some of my friends, and we just paused so much because of the faces the characters made. We were just laughing. Well, I wasn't laughing because I was used to it, but it was pretty good. My favorite Mr. Meaty episode? I do not know. Which one would be my favorite? I don't think I have a favorite. Oh, I do have a favorite. It's the episode where they time travel into the future to try and get ahead and aligned for a new game console. But they go too far and the entire mall has been taken over and ruled by mandrills. Have to try and find a way to get to the past while surviving the pecking order hierarchy of the apes. And that episode is appropriately called Suburb of the Apes if you're looking for it. But yeah, largely I'm not really 100% into Mr. Meaty, it's just not my style of show, but some of the moments are really funny. It was also the show that introduced me to the concept of light whips. I get that they were in Star Wars, but I hadn't really seen light whips in Star Wars very much before. Yeah, a lot of playing Bandit comes down to just not being stupid, honestly. If you pull off your combos well, then you will be a natural. You have to have reflexes, you gotta have wit, situational awareness, and most importantly, you gotta be rootin', be tootin', be shootin', but most importantly, be kind. As Teddy Roosevelt once said, speak softly and carry a big shotgun. Oh, actually he didn't say that, he said a big stick. But you know what I'm saying. He could have been saying boomstick for all we know. All being considered, though, I probably would not try an Impossible Whopper just because I've tried veggie burgers before. Maybe just one bite. Although I'd have to get a different bun because I cannot eat sesame seeds. Apparently I'm allergic to sesame oil. Another thing about my comforting lifestyle is that I've become allergic to a lot of things, or I just am. I get the impression that people who don't have much to worry about in the first place do tend to get more allergies. I don't hear about many people in third world countries who have allergies, probably because they don't eat foods that contain allergens. That's probably just my bias being inserted, and it's probably validated by the source of stupid. It's not a very informed assumption to make. I think my allergy problems mainly just stemmed from me having allergies. Like my tree nut allergy. If you want to kill me, just inject walnuts into my bloodstream. Can't stand those. And pecans either. Oof, makes my mouth burn. But everything else is fine. Just those two. I'm not allergic to much else as far as food goes. I'm probably allergic to penicillin, so when it comes to drugs, I have to have something else. If penicillin is offered, I have to have the alternative choice. And shellfish allergies. That can probably be blamed on adolescence, because I developed that allergy when I was like 12 or 13, and I had been eating like popcorn shrimp for a lot of my early and middle childhood. Yeah, like, around that age, hormonal stuff can cause a lot of health problems in general, it seems. Like, that's why a lot of kids get type 1 diabetes around then. Or they can. I was just on, and I guess that's where my allergies came from. Again, all assumptions. I'm no biologist. I just know basic physiological processes. Kinda, sorta. And my grasp on them is about as good as the grasp of a sea slug on a tree branch. And also, the slug is 5 feet long. Actually, I guess it would have a pretty good grasp since its body is all arm. The grasp of a sea cucumber on a tree branch. That's my new expression. The only exception would be Kevin the sea cucumber. He seems to have a pretty good grasp on the situation at hand, because he actually has them. I may have a shellfish allergy, but I also got good puns. Maybe not. My puns are way better than they were. Used to be my puns were stupid. Guess that's just me getting older, and my tastes changing. In 5 years, I'll think my puns that I make now are stupid. It is almost time for me to go to sleep. I think I might do one more run after this if it's a short one, but if it's... Okay, if I die this run, and if next run is going to be the run, I'm going to... Okay, here's the deal. if I die this run and the next one, I'll probably quit for tonight. But if I stumble across the run, like the run, I am staying up for all of it. That could take very well like 40 minutes, but, you know, sometimes you just get the run. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta do what you do for the run. Stage 3. The stage that separates the weakies from the strongs. Don't know why I said it like that. Stage 3. I've been going light on the items lately. I would really like to get Siren's Call for Stage 4. I haven't gotten that one in a while, and it's a good chance for me to run around and get a bunch of items, because it's money I don't have to spend on opening a legendary chest. Clay Dune Strider. Oh no. Double oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. As you can probably tell, this is a major oh no moment. Greater wisps, I tell ya. They're relatively easy to dodge, but ooh, I got the Mired Urn. This got some buffs. It used to sap health from your allies as well as your enemies, but they realized that was stupid. For a boss item anyway. A lunar item it would make more sense, but as a boss item it shouldn't have any downsides. It's not a great health drain, but at least it slows your opponents down for a little bit. It's better than nothing. Not the best boss item you can get. Pretty good stream. I'm gonna go ahead, go to sleep. Pretty good stream. Alright. Good night. Go ahead and do what you need to do, man. It's been a pleasure having you. Our first Clay Templar. Like, we didn't encounter any until just now, which I think is kind of funny. Abyssal Depths, not what I was hoping for. Honestly, Abyssal Depths is kind of overhyped. That may be a bad take, but I don't care. I much prefer Siren's Call for the ambience. Although, to be fair, it is much easier to just farm, so there's that. I can afford to farm for the legendary on this map. I guess farming for the legendary is not that bad if you have the money. To get the AWU, you have to go through all the trouble of running around, breaking and finding and breaking all the nests. Or at least some of them. 2305. Oh boy. Very rarely have I gotten to Abyssal Depths and actually survived long enough to get stuff from the legendary. Though honestly, one legendary is just all we need probably. I'm gonna quit talking so I can rest my organs and joints and bones. The bones. I should run around and collect more barrels, because they give a surprisingly good amount of money. Man, that's good. Very nice. The broken robot! What we do? Well, nothing now, because we don't have the fuel cell. Ooh, very nice. Actually, I lied earlier. We should have all we need for the boss. But I am going to try and farm for that free legendary, I suppose. Unstable Tesla coil is top tier. We are kitted out as far as these kinds of items go. Oh, found the teleporter. Good. That's a magma worm. I didn't even know you were here, buddy. This should give us enough to, Oh wow, my drone just got murdered. I'm vegan. Meat is murder and disgusting. Well, no, not really. At least I don't think meat is murder and disgusting. I was just quoting a Misha video. That guy was a legend of his medium. The kid who did I Play Pokemon Go every day. Absolute legend. And he still makes videos to this day, though obviously he's older now. Considerably older. He turned out a lot like his brother, actually. Legendary item, where are you, buddy? 2 legendaries. We are going to be in good shape. Alien head, not bad. Not an exciting item, but it gets the job done. Imagine if I just paired ukulele or something with this. I'm gonna try for some more items, maybe. And then I will go ahead and just chill. Healing drone, not bad. Well, this was a bad idea. Not my worst moment, but not my best. Hopefully the difficulty scaling doesn't hit us too hard. Is this gonna be the run? Beats me. Here's where we're supposed to go. Now it's going to be harder, considering that it's a mountain challenge. Let's hope and pray that it's not or actually I'd prefer magma worms. Oh, okay, Stone Titan, that's Pog. I love Stone Titan, actually. I prefer Stone Titan over it, obviously. Ah, that's an Imp Overlord. He kind of barged in on the boss fight without even me asking him to. Imp Overlord crashes your house at 3 a.m. and forces you to play board games with him. And he just keeps on playing Monopoly and he keeps on winning, but every single time... Or no, he just comes into your house at 3 a.m. and eats all your nachos. And forces you to play board games with him. He's still alive, but fortunately we got our mountain shrine stuff. Hey, double pred, can't go wrong. Thank goodness they added these indicators. Now I know just how close I can get before I face certain death. Drones have definitely been buffed. My gunner drone only died once. And they teleport to you. They behave more like Risk of Rain 1 drones in those regards. Alright, Sky Meadow, my favorite stage. This might just be the run. There's no saving a run, so I'll have to see it through to the end, I hope. Now I can just run around and get a whole bunch of free items. Well, they're not free, but it's a whole bunch. I was gonna consider... They changed up the boss fights. Now I'm gonna have to actually try and get some good items for the final stage, so that I don't have to worry about dying. Because the final stage, the new one, is pretty hard. What's that? Must be a new item. Wait a second. Is that what the new squid polyp looks like? They retextured the squid polyp. My lads, they retextured the squid polyp. That is definitely interesting. Probably not going to go for it, because it still needs a buff. Or, I mean, it's not that it doesn't need a buff, it's just not what I'm going for this run. It got a buff, actually. I'm going to go for ATG. Because how could you not? 18. Very good, very good. We'll definitely need that to fend off some of the opponents. Most of the stages is running around opening chests and vibing out to the music. Getting rid of some items we don't need. Honestly, I don't really need the syringe. The abilities, most of the abilities are not really timing dependent. Oof. Nice one, gamers. We're doing pretty well this run. I don't think I'm gonna worry too much about this run going bust. Need to be vigilant, though. Anything can kill us in an instant. Ooh, another legendary. This is definitely going to be, I hope it's going to be the run. What is that? What is that? I have no clue. I see a... Oh! That's the grandparent! This is the new boss! Yo, that's pretty dope. Whoa, what's this? That is pretty not dope. That is pretty dope, honestly. Man, they redesigned this boss a lot. I was hoping I'd encounter this new one. Definitely seems like a challenging fight. Cool looking boss, though. I don't know, though. She just kind of sits there. Not the hardest boss I faced, but definitely a neat moment for the books. That was an unused boss. It was unused until now. That is awesome. I'm so happy they finally added in the grandparents. Now, if only they'd add children. That sounds really bad out of context. But yeah, the grandparent was going to be the Sky Meadows' unique boss, but they had to cut it short for time constraint reasons. This is my favorite part of the song. That damage, though. See, it's still really easy to die. But our attack power is unrivaled. Most other survivors would falter, but Bandit thrives. Let's see. Oh no, overloading. No, just a regular magma worm. I was hoping for grandparents, honestly, because grandparents seem pretty easy, but hey, magma worm works too. And plus, I'd have a good chance of getting that new boss item. Luckily we got the... Ooh, wax quail. That is very nice. We're definitely ready for Mithrix, I'm thinking. Will this be the run? What's over there? Oh well. I don't need to be so reckless. I need to be more careful. But I'm doing pretty well. Here's the final stage. It looks largely pretty similar to how it used to, but it's different now. And here is what they added. Whole new section. The rescue ship has been trapped. Looks like when the man fell in, can't save any men falling into the river in Lego City without saving the rescue ship first. Sorry for the noise, I'm eating crackers. And here is a new enemy, which looks suspiciously familiar. Oh no! That thing right there is the new elite, perfected. I've only fought a perfected once so far, and they look super scary. Looks like all their health is shield. Either that or they just have a stylish blue health bar for no reason. No matter though, we do have the guillotine for a reason. No, it looks like not even the guillotine can save us from the perfected. Holy cow. This new elite type means I'm gonna have to update my sheet of brass contraption sprites. So yeah, the stage is way bigger now, as you probably noticed, and now you have to find a way to free the rescue ship. You have to be on your toes with these lunar chimeras, though. They are not easy anymore. Before it was just kind of about ignoring them, but now you have to fight them. I mean, you had to fight the lunar chimeras during the boss fight, but now you have to actually, like, fight them, and dang, it's hard to do. But yeah. The map has a whole bunch of new parts to it now. This is the general area where the Mithrix Arena probably used to be. Ooh, what's this? A sword. With interesting. I got too distracted looking at the scenery. Rain. Yep, we're risking the rain this time, and I got pretty far. I'm really hoping this is going to be the run. As long as I don't do anything crazy stupid, I should be golden. I'm playing the new character, Bandit. I enjoyed him a lot. Very fun. Very cool. He's very combo-oriented, making him very similar to the likes of the Mercenary. They changed up the final level. Now you have to actually go to 4 of these beacons and do mini teleporter event type things. Very similar to Risk of Rain 1's final stage, actually. The stage is a lot bigger and more expansive than it used to be. Oh! Ouch! This is... As you can see, it's very easy to die on the final stage. Before it was just kind of rushed to the boss room. Ooh boy, well, you kind of joined at an inopportune time because I was thinking of quitting. I was thinking that would be the run. But that's quite alright. I'll do another run. Like I said, one more run. One more run with Bandit on Monsoon, because I just like Monsoon a lot. to quit streaming soon, but you can stay for the duration that I am. Because it's getting kind of late where I am, and I don't want to be sleep deprived. That would be very not fun. That parkour, though, another reason to love Bandit. He can get to places pretty darn well. This could end badly. Although, honestly, there are worse bosses to fight as this guy. At least Beetle Queen actually turns around to attack, so that when her back is facing you, you can launch that epic critical hit like the epic gamer you were always meant to be. Squid Polyp. They redesigned the look for this item. Watch this. We just stayed airborne for like 10 seconds. Very fun. One reason to love Bandit. I'm the Bandit, gotta love me. Pretty much what Bandit was like when people first started playing him. People have been wanting Bandit for a long time, and he was in the works forever. At least they were planning to add him, then they decided not to. Then they just polished him up. I don't know how long they've actually been working on him, but he's been in the works since the early days. Hey, squib turrets. They actually got buffed. Still not an S tier item, but still very much better than it was. Glowing meteorites, not the best item, but not the worst you can get from Lunar either. Alright, now here comes the fun part, in quotation marks. POV, you are having... Ooh, it's Grove Tendy. I love Grove Tendy. And yes, I've gotten such a bond with him that I call him Grove Tendy for short. Oof. Well, there goes my run. You have to be careful with the glowing meteorites. But yeah, that was all I was going to do for now. Thank you for joining, and see you later. I need sleep. And help.